Hey everybody, Rachel Parker here. My pronouns are she and her, and I am the Anglican priest for Dayspring Ministries, which is the a grouping of parishes, St. Mary's in Edgerton, St. Saviour's in Vermilion, and St. Thomas in Wainwright in the beautiful Diocese of Edmonton, the Anglican Church of Canada, in the middle of Alberta. Beautiful province. I am pleased to be here this morning to be with you this 1st of November. Wow, this year is going by so quickly. It's held a lot, hasn't it? Um, and also, a big part of what I'm thinking about today is what's going to happen a week from today in the United States, because I have been learning really quickly that the American influence on the province of Alberta is massive. And a friend has filled me in a little bit on why, on the geography and the immigration and the movement of Americans up to Canada via through Alberta over in a couple of different times in our history. And totally awesome. I get that. I'm getting to know some folks who hail from the south, and they are really good, solid people. I'm glad they're here. Glad they're Albertans. Glad they're now Canadians. Um, but as we prepare, as the world prepares for what's going to happen on election night, November 8th, I, I'm getting a little bit nervous. You see, I have not really had to deal with, on my YouTube station here, or channel, I have not really had to deal with conspiracy theorists. I've had people call me Jezebel, and I've had people tell me I'm out to lunch and that, I'm going to hell in a handbasket. And on Sunday morning, I woke up to have someone telling me why I couldn't be a priest as a woman because the Bible says so. And I responded back. I wasn't being very polite. I wasn't rude, but I wasn't doing my usual, that's your opinion and you're welcome to have it. I came back with that, but something else. But then something else happened, and it was a couple days after the fact. Last Friday, I posted a video about the importance of Halloween and for why Christians should participate, the building of community and treating each other well and things like that, which last night we did at our house. We had probably about 50 kids, maybe, I'm thinking. Hard to tell because I wasn't really counting, and I started handing out handfuls of candy because I know what would happen if we left it here, if it's got left over here. It wouldn't last long. That wouldn't be good. Um, but somebody came back after the fact. I think Sunday afternoon. I don't think it was Monday. I think it was Sunday afternoon. Somebody commented, left a comment on the video about how Halloween really was about Satanists and Luciferians, and how and when I commented back and said, you really should check out Sephiroth. She's one of the folks on subscriber on my YouTube channel, and she's got a great way of describing what the Satanic Temple is about. And it's not what most of us think, so I invite you to do some research on that. Maybe someday I'll get her to give me some. She's given me some really great stuff. Maybe I'll use that to talk about that as well. But he came back. This person came back telling me that that all of this, things that we call the good things and this kindness to strangers, that actually inviting children to be cursed, that the people who were handing out candy were actually cursing them, and that there's a real existential threat to them, and that the big companies and corporations are involved in it, and made some comments about the president being a pedophile and the person in charge of a global sex trafficking ring. When I came back and suggested that, while I appreciated his candor and his willingness to share his thoughts, I suggested that on the channel we wouldn't be going there, that I do not play in conspiracy theories, and I don't appreciate that lies would be spread through the comments on my channel. And he then deleted the comments, so the only reason I have them still is because they're on my phone, and I didn't delete the emails. I'm not sure whether I will. I think it's a reminder to me of the flip side of this, what I'm doing. You see, this is the first time I think I've been doing this for 2 years, coming up on 2 full years in November. Yeah, it'll be 2 years at the end of November that I've been doing this daily post. And I have had some weird things said to me, but I have never had anybody spouting conspiracy theories. And at first I thought, this is kind of funny. Like, okay, I've attracted the nut jobs. I'm here. I've made it. And then I got thinking, no, this isn't funny at all. Conspiracy theories are real. The theories are not, but the fact of conspiracy theories and theorists is real. And that reality is a terrifying one. So far, we haven't had much of that in Canada, although we do have, well, the United States has their January 6th committee, we have an inquiry going on in Canada about the convoy and the Emergency Measures Act that was instituted by our Prime Minister. And I'm looking forward to reading the whole document when it's produced. I do that. I read big, long, boring volumes long things just to find out about things. I read one about Bosnia, and it was, no, sorry, Somalia, the Somalia affair, and it was fantastic. It was interesting, very, very interesting. But part of our convoy was, and part of that was the institution or the introduction of conspiracy theories and a lot of things that I find to be very disturbing here in Canada, and very, very fearful, concerned that at the rate at which conspiracy theories are flying about south of the border, and the permeability of the Canadian American border at the Alberta border, part of the border, I am concerned that what is happening to the south of us is going to move quickly to the north and become a part of our established reality. Conspiracy theories, granted, some conspiracy theories over the years have been found to hold some water. I imagine that most, if not all, conspiracy theories do, though, also have some really wild and wacky stuff in it. That even if there is a grain of truth, there's a lot of chaff that needs to be thrown out. The conspiracy theory this person shared on my comment on my video was slanderous or libelous or both, I'm not sure, but it was absolutely appalling to me that someone would speak of President Biden that way. And I've been listening to CNN for the last couple of years, so I've heard lots, and I've enough Fox to know that he's called a lot of things. But this was a new one to me, and it was very, very disturbing to me. What is most disturbing to me, though, is the rate at which I am watching our neighbors to the south gobble up this gobbledygook. People who, 10 years ago might have been a bit on the fringe. There might have been people who were listening to things and preparing for the worst and all of those things that kind of what I would consider to be crazy thinking. Over the last 4 or 5 years or 6 years, it has become quite mainstream. And that scares me because people are not using their heads anymore. People are listening with their emotions. They are being swayed by lies, and they are not using critical thinking to think through the process of what they're hearing. Because most of the people, I really, really do believe in humanity. And I really do believe that most of the people who are getting swallowed up in these conspiracy theories and these what I would consider to be fake news, the far right stuff, the QAnon stuff and all of that, and getting closer and closer to what used to be the middle on the right hand side, people aren't thinking for themselves. They are hearing sound bites. They're seeing Twitter tweets. They're seeing something on Instagram. They're seeing things that have no context. And they take them without context, and then they blow them up into something that doesn't even exist. And then all of a sudden, that's the new reality. Well, no, it isn't. Reality is defined by the first 4 letters. Real. Is it real? Truth. There's no fake truth. Truth is true. You don't have to like it, but you can't start arguing with it. 2 plus 2 equals 4. It doesn't equal 4.5. It doesn't equal 3. 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 plus 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no denying that. And yet, we are beginning to see people around the world thinking that if somebody is convincing and charming and charismatic, that maybe 2 plus 2 is equal to 5 or 10, or 2 plus 2 equals A. It doesn't make sense. We are watching our society degrade quickly, really quickly, into a place that looks an awful lot like Germany in the late 30s, Mussolini's Italy. Thinking about what's happening to people and their ability to think for themselves. I get that people are scared. I get that people are worried about losing their jobs. Although I think above and below the border here, our job rates have been pretty steady. Inflation is killing us. Yeah, it's hard on us, and the cost of food is incredible, and the cost of transportation for that food is amazing. Like, it's just out of this world. But we also have things like Putin stopping grain from being able to leave Ukraine, things like that. So, yeah, there are other factors that are not conspiracy driven, but they're just facts. They are things that are happening that we have tangible proof that this contributes to what's the effects that follow on. But we don't have proof. There is no proof that the election in 2020 was stolen. And yet there are people who will be elected into power who will have influence over further elections, who are touting that lie because of power, money, prestige, a promise that will probably go unfulfilled. I am concerned that such conspiracy theories and fake news and such absolute hate can exist, that Mr. Pelosi could be attacked and there would not be an automatic across the board denouncement of what happened. The fact that some people are ignoring it or suggesting that, this is because of. How about it's wrong? What has happened to our society that we can't all acknowledge that what happened and why it happened are plain and simple wrong? I guess maybe I am in shock because I have this little tiny YouTube channel with 416 and probably now only 350 subscribers. And this channel and one video talking about how it's kind of a good thing that kids can go out and be safely, hang out with community and get candy and talk to their neighbors, that actually brought a conspiracy theorist into my life, into my home, because of this. Doesn't mean I'm going to quit doing this, but it does mean that my world has just gotten a bit bigger, and I don't think I like it. I don't like where we're going, and I think we all need to figure out how we can fix the course, redirect the course of where our world is going, writ large, nationally, internationally. But I think we all need to take a look inside and say, where are we going? Where am I going? Am I somebody who is contributing to that? I don't think I am. But Rachel Parker, needs to take a look and say, am I doing something that's contributing to false information being fed out there? And if I am, how do I stop it? And if I'm not, how do I discourage others from doing it? And how do I encourage those who are fighting for truth, who are fighting for justice, who are fighting for reality, and hence are fighting for their country, whether it be mine or the one to the south of us? These are just some thoughts I've been having since I stopped laughing at that video or that comment and realized this person's serious enough that when I called him on his conspiracy theory, he eliminated he eliminated the comments, including mine. I did check him out though, and he has 112 followers, and he has no posts. How do you have 112 followers when you've never posted anything? It's a mystery of YouTube. I don't understand that. Anyway, those are the things I'm pondering today. I hope that you have a gentle day. And for those of you who are watching from the States, God bless you. And my prayers are with you and with each of you as you go to the ballot box. And I pray that you will do so. Exercise your right and your responsibility to participate in creating a context in which every person has the ability and soon, hopefully, the desire to know what is truly happening in your world. God bless you. I will see you all again tomorrow for Church at Home with Rachel on Wednesday.